Hello, good evening. I'm Kubrali and this is Awaz News. Let's take a look at the top stories here in Canada. New video of an off-leash dog attack in Toronto that left another small dog dead and its owner injured has been obtained by Awaz News. The video surfaced after police issued a warning about an abandoned off-leash dog following an incident Tuesday afternoon near Western Road and Lawrence Avenue West. Police said the larger dog, described as brown pit bull mix, attacked a smaller dog and its owner without provocation. The smaller dog was killed and the owner sustained non-life-threatening injuries. In the video, the larger dog can be seen walking ahead of its owner without a leash as it charged towards the smaller dog. The smaller dog is being walked by an owner who appears to be pushing a stroller. A witness said the owner of the dog that attacked punched their pet multiple times to get it off the other dog. The dog that attacked has not been found. Police say they are working with animal services to locate it. It's unclear if the missing dog's owner has spoken with police. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them at 416-828-1200 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Police say they are searching for 4 armed robbery suspects who allegedly stole $500,000 worth of jewelry from victims inside a vehicle in Toronto's downtown core. According to police, the incident occurred at around 4:50 a.m. Sunday in the area of Spadina Avenue and Bremner Boulevard. Police allege that 4 masked suspects approached the victim who were parked in a vehicle. The victims, police said, were held at gunpoint while the suspects stole more than $500,000 worth of jewelry. The suspects fled before police arrived. One victim sustained minor injuries, police said. Detailed suspect descriptions were not available, but police said they were driving a blue Nissan Rogue with stolen license plates. Images of the suspects have now been released. The high price of gas in and around Toronto could break a record this summer amid peak season, warns one energy expert. A litre of regular gas in the Greater Toronto area is currently selling for 189.9 cents and will jump another 4 cents overnight to 194.9 cents a litre. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague told Awaz News on Wednesday. He predicts prices will continue to rise and reach new heights as the warmer weather arrives due to ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Now in its third month, the joint U.S.-Israeli military operation in Iran has effectively resulted in the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which 20% of the global oil supply once traveled through. McTeague believes that even if a peace agreement is brokered in the near future, the damage to the oil infrastructure in the area and the global shortage of oil isn't likely to be remedied quickly. It's not just a question of agreement, it's how long it takes for those oil fields to be restored, how much the infrastructure has been damaged, the extent to which it's going to take several months for those things to be fixed, he said. I think 2026 is actually a write-off and we are going to see much higher prices than most of us are comfortable with. A licensed drug addiction counselor who delivered Friends star Matthew Perry the doses of ketamine that killed him was sentenced Wednesday to 2 years in prison. Judge Sherilyn Pease Garnett handed down the sentence to 56-year-old Eric Fleming in U.S. federal court in Los Angeles. A judge ordered Fleming, who has been free on bond for about 2 years, to turn himself in to serve his term in 45 days. He was also sentenced to 3 years of probation. Fleming was the 4th defendant sentence of the 5 who have pleaded guilty in prosecutions over the actor's 2023 death in the jacuzzi at his Los Angeles home. Fleming connected Perry to Jasmine Sangha, the convicted drug dealer prosecutors called the ketamine queen. She was sentenced last month to 15 years in prison. Fleming gave up Sangha to investigators the same day they found him at his sister's house, where he has sleeping on the couch several months after Perry's death. He became the first defendant to plead guilty in August 2024, admitting to 1 count of distribution of ketamine resulting in death. That was before arrest in case where even announced, and Wednesday was his first court appearance since his role became public knowledge. His attorney, Robert Dugdale, told the judge he handed over the ketamine queen on a silver platter. He would have gotten about 4 years in prison if it weren't for his cooperation, according to federal sentencing guidelines. The prosecution said he deserved credit for doing the right thing, but argued that he didn't so only when confronted and cornered by authorities. The judge also pointed out that Fleming didn't come forward in the months after Perry's death, that he didn't recreate new evidence by making phone calls to co-conspirators or anything similar, that the information he provided might have been obtained anyway, simply through the seizure of his phone. But all agreed that he sped up and smoothed the investigation with his cooperation. Prosecutors said in a sentencing memo that his role as a drug counselor who deliberately undertook to sell illegal street drugs to a victim who had a public, well-documented battle with drug addiction should count against him, even if Perry wasn't one of his regular clients. Defense lawyers emphasized that he had no criminal record and repeatedly pointed out that he only spent 11 days of his life dealing drugs and to a single customer. They had asked for a sentence of 3 months in prison and 9 months in residential drug treatment facility. Fleming said, "His great remorse can't compare to the agony I have caused to Perry's family and friends." He and his lawyers also highlighted what they called his extraordinary work towards rehabilitation, spending 20 months sober and helping to establish a sober living home. After the hearing, he hugged several friends who were in the courtroom to support him. Perry had been receiving ketamine treatments for depression and increasingly common off-label use. Victoria Day celebrations are coming fast and warm temperatures are expected. Environment Canada is predicting a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 27 Celsius and a low of 17 Celsius. The list of what's open and what's closed, as well as where you can watch the fireworks. Attractions: CN Tower Ripley's Aquarium, Royal Ontario Museum Art Gallery of Ontario, Toronto Zoo, all City of Toronto golf courses. CF Toronto Eden Centre, Toronto Premium Outlets, 304 LCBO locations, 73 beer store locations, Scarborough Town Centre, Yorkdale Shopping Centre. What's closed? All federal, provincial and municipal government offices, Toronto Public Library branches, community centres, banks. In March, changes to Ontario's Retail Business and Holiday Act from the provincial government are now allowing retail stores and malls across the province to remain open on Family Day and Victoria Day. The City of Toronto will be hosting its Victoria Day fireworks at Ashbitts Bay, beginning at 10 p.m. Those attending are encouraged by the City of Toronto to leave personal vehicles at home and use public transit. Routes and schedules can be found here. If you are hosting your own fireworks watch party, the City of Toronto allows residents to set off fireworks on their private properties before 11 p.m. on Victoria Day, according to the City of Toronto press release. Line 6 Finch will be closed all weekend long for system upgrades and FIFA World Cup preparations, the Toronto Transit Commission TTC and the Metrolink said in a statement. Closures will begin Friday at 2:30 a.m. and will be ending on Tuesday at 4 a.m. Replacement shuttle buses will operate along Finch Avenue West during the closure. According to Metrolink's officials, the planned closure was scheduled in part to prepare for increased ridership ahead of the FIFA World Cup and other major events in the city. Peel police say 2 people are in custody after allegedly producing or selling counterfeit license plates that have been tied to at least 30 criminal investigations in Ontario. In a news release, Peel Police said investigators with its Road Safety Services Division identified a registered online business that was making and selling counterfeit license plates to be used on vehicles. Some of the fake plates, Deputy Constable Philip Menicola said, had plate numbers that were registered to legitimate drivers. Police said the plates were used in a wide range of offences, including organized auto theft and violent carjackings. The plates, police said, were also linked to the criminal cases in other parts of Canada. Search warrants were executed at 2 addresses in Hamilton on April 7 following a lengthy investigation, police said. 2 people were arrested without incident at the time, police confirmed. In one incident at around 8 a.m. on June 12, 2025, police alleged that an impaired driver operating a stolen vehicle with counterfeit plates fled from police before crashing on Dixie Road. The suspect, police said, was arrested after attempting to take another vehicle. Speaking at news conference on Wednesday, Manicola said the suspects used both online platforms and temporary retail booths at auto shows to market the plates. Police say Avery McLeod Noak, 28, and Tyler Matthew McLeod, 27, both of the Hamilton, are facing several charges, including unlawfully making marks, selling or possessing counterfeit marks, affixing a mark, and possession of property obtained by crime. At a time when the United States has pulled funding for research programs, Canada is pushing to attract scientists to head north, with Toronto's University Health Network already recruiting dozens of medical researchers from abroad. The Canada Leads program was launched a year ago by the hospital network with the goal of bringing on 100 early to mid-career scientists from across the globe. It's part of a larger nationwide strategy to push forward Canada's leadership in global life sciences and medical research, according to UHN, particularly in the areas that will impact health and have capacity for economic growth. Because of that, Brad Wouters, Executive Vice President of Science and Research at University Health Network, says they had high standards for who they selected in the program. So far, Wouters says they have recruited 80 people, though there are hundreds more who have expressed interest in the campaign. There have been more than 800 people who have expressed interest in the program so far, according to EHN. Though the program is focused on early career researchers, Wouters says funding from the federal government helped them attract a senior investigator from the United States. In the last federal budget, Ottawa set aside $1.7 billion to attract and support international researchers over the next 12 years through the Canada Global Impact Research Talent Initiative. Canada Leads brought in Dr. Ariel Levine, who was a senior investigator from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, who is researching spinal cord injury in an effort to better understand how the nervous system controls movement. Health Minister Marjorie Michel echoed Jolie, noting how better healthcare begins with better research. And in Canada, we believe in science. We value our scientists, Michel said. Thank you for watching Awaz News. This is Kubra Ali. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.